Hey, what's going, guys? It's Paul Trucks, the Nerd, and well, today I kind of want to talk about like Super 7. I know Super 7 sort of has a mixed opinions among people. I know some people generally hate him, and some sort of more like him, or some people just like whatever. It's like, they're too expensive, or they're bad value, or whatever, right? And for me, generally, they're not, because I'm not an '80s kid, right? So some Thundercats and He-Man and Thunder Silverhawks and what have you. That stuff is just not my thing. So I don't generally have an opinion on that stuff either way, to be quite honest with you. But way that sort of got me was probably wrestling. Wrestling is kind of a big part of my hobby, right? That's for sure. And yeah, so over the here and there, they have made some wrestling figures, right? And I don't think, and it seems right now that they're sort of either sort of tapping out on, on it, no pun intended, right? On that stuff. Because this, cause like, you got sort of got two series of New Japan, and you got a couple of smaller sort of niche stuff here and there. And the new series of the Good Brothers just got pulled out. Just so I'm guess that like most people, I assumed that was always probably because of both Carl Anderson and the big LG. I don't know what it's actually called in WWE. Well, but yeah, since both of them returned, I'm sure the license was just not there anymore. But apparently, it was more because of low demand, really. So now there might be something there, but like I don't know if there's anything actually concrete happening. But I have a few here I want to show off, to maybe discuss and just talk over, because I do have a bunch of elites from Mattel, a bunch of AW figures, a couple of boss fight, even some FTC figures. So I have a general idea of wrestling figures, at least the modern type. I don't own any LJNs or Hasbros, unfortunately, or Remcos for that matter. So, but yeah, let's start with, I think, the Major Brothers, right? Matt Cardona and Brian Myers. Just right here, right? Just, yeah. Obviously, this is the feel that you get, right? Can I adjust this? That might not be. Oh well. Get the lighting on. Might be not be great for it. But so yeah, like these were like $55 maybe, and like the elite is like 25 maybe now, which obviously is quite the difference. But lower production runs, and this ain't gonna go in some store. Like it's gonna go like specialty shops and pre-orders. So it's like, But what do I know? I haven't actually worked in the toy industry, or I'm not an industry insider. But just being like whatever. So this is basically what you get from an Ultimate in general, I suppose, really, because they generally sort of aim for the same sort of baseline in terms of articulation. For one, like you get like single jointed knees, single jointed elbows, maybe some sort of ab crunch, which does move and work. And soft goods are more like yes, sometimes no, other times. I know that both of these guys generally are more fans of like sculpted stuff because they get more details and whatnot. That may be why these do have plastic, or soft plastic vests, even though like on this as I take as everything falls to the floor. Let's just adjust this maybe a bit better to make it a bit more. Yeah. Where was I? Yeah. So as you will see later, there are some Super 7 figures that does use soft goods. So it's gonna come up. Well, so if you come from, say, a Mattel figure, right, there's going to be some differences. Mattel's been going on for quite a while now. That's why I'm using that as a good base stand. Because obviously AEW has sort of started, but they're sort of in their sort of early phases yet. I feel they haven't sort of quite put their mark on the industry, I think, as in a sense. But yeah, so there's even some things that I prefer here, funnily enough. But let's see. Like the ankles, right? Like you get you get back, you get forward somewhat, you get like you get some rockers ish. Helvete. This looks very professional. I know. Maybe I should just hang on a minute, and we're back. In theory. Yeah, but of course, if you bought any elite, you should have the massive thigh cut, which you will also see on like a lot of other modern action figures. Personally, I'm not a fan, so well, I guess you can that can be discussed. But like I honestly kind of like this one. Where it's sort of hidden inside it. So you get like if you want to turn it down, like you get it, right? But you don't get that massive sort of cut that doesn't look nice. Which, in some sense, that I do agree with Brian Flynn. Some of his stuff doesn't look nice. Which, like, yeah, I feel you on that one. Which you see this like ish on like some other stuff too. So this is not like they're the first one to do it by any means. But like I see the elbows. I mean, that's 90, right? It works, and it's relatively clean looking from different angles as well. So I think this is aesthetically a nice figure. Now, on like the likeness stuff like that, not the best. Can you see Brian Myers in this look? Maybe if you sort of, I mean, he kind of looks more like a cartoony version of him. But whatever. Maybe the new one actually does look better. But so far we only have like renders, and I know better to trust any company on just renders. So we'll see how that turns out. Obviously, his buddy, right, Matt Cardona, or Zack Ryder, as I'm sure a lot of people know him as. It's sort of his own. But yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. Articulation-wise, obviously the paint is sort of resemble his sort of like his what you find is sort of left sort of his Zack Ryder persona behind became more of Matt Cardona, right? Always ready, right? And yeah, got the major part. Obviously, all of these came with quite a few accessories, right? Different hands. Both of these come with like a baseball cap that has the major pod logo on it. So that's actually kind of nice. So yeah. So that's sort of definitely a plus for Super 7 in my opinion, right? How they are like you get a lot of accessories. That's the cool thing. That's sort of a place we get value. But like the new ones are $75. It's like, and like I'm not even gonna try to like potentially argue with them of being like how can this be $75, but I mean, fuck, like I don't know, like you all you really can do as a consumer is to look at that and be like, are you okay with that or are you not? And then just walk away or give them the money, right? Just it's up to you. But yeah, this is actually really good. I actually really like them. Do I have the new ones on pre-order? No. Maybe I mean Super 7 does end up on sale and stuff on the different sites here and there anyway. So I don't know. But yeah, like they're solid figures. Like I don't think they're bad. Generally, I don't think Super 7 figures are bad. Like they work. They the ab crunch stuff still has to go. And it does seem like they're sort of on this way out. Not with this one, of course, but this is sort of older. But like if you look at something like the like everyone else seems to be moving away from it. So that's I'm probably gonna keep them in this post anyway. So next one is of course the Good Brothers, right? Carl Anderson and the BLG, which now back in WWE, of course, as the OC. They gave up their titles to become just AJ Styles cronies again. You know, good for them, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, this is a good place to start. I was getting like introducing scale. That's kind of like as they are there are a size difference, certainly. So that's kind of nice in my opinion. Yeah. So you can probably just like, yeah, they're kind of like. And obviously there are massive sort of issues, or not issues per se, but sort of accuracy issues, because this is kind of inaccurate in some cases, like especially if you kind of know, you know. So because these guys here aren't figure collectors, right? They don't really, this looks about right, cool, do it, huh? But these guys are more like a bit more critical, a bit more like anal about the stuff, has to having to be accurate, super accurate to what they were wearing at the time. This is more like this was not a vest. You know, this outfit was not a vest, so like a one piece type of thing. But this obviously this guy doesn't wear knee pads. You get a decent idea of how their knees work. Like, so yeah, single jointed, but they get like this. They don't all the way back, so that's, you know, and you cannot see there's some turn in there. But yeah, in terms of situation, got the book at the inside thing, which honestly, yes, I do prefer. Like, they look nicer, they don't stick out as much, and like like this is kind of the Shopomania look as well, which, I mean, that's fucking dead now, right? Because they probably can't do that shit anyway anymore because of their current place of employment. That's a shame, because it's like, yeah, this hat is not removable. This is part of the head sculpt. As you say, that the tats, they kind of fucked up. Like, they kind of just like, you know, one side and one side. This is supposed to be all around, so this is kind of an F up. But I don't know. Right? That thing went nuclear. As you can see, the heads are very much removable. I mean, maybe that's a good opportunity to just check it out how they work. We are talking about a single to a dumbbell. You say so, which is not great, not particularly bad either, in my opinion. It's perfectly fine. Put it on, poof, done. You know, but they do work, right? So I don't know. Same idea though. Like, you get a sort of a soft plastic vest, and both of them do get a beer can, which with the Tuck Shop Mania logo on it. I think it's great. Like, they have their own thing, right? Both of them, but now they just like, that thing just dead and gone, unfortunately. Let's try to check up some this. Yeah. Really shows some scale off, right? They do. This is their first Andre figure. Their first Andre figure, right? They have done several since then, of course, in different eras and whatnot. But so I felt I only needed one, and they came with a soft goods vest, but also did come with a sort of a more plasticky, if that's what you prefer. But I think this was actually my first super7 figure, actually. It was our first time to get the feeling for like what the figure is like, and what the you know, how they work and how the articulation moves. Is it good? Is it bad? Do I like it? You know, whatever. And I think my response initially was, this is fine. This is not great. I would love it to be a lot more joints and such, but the likeness isn't actually that bad either. Like, I know that the new Andre looks awful, but this is on camera. This is not some professional lighting thing. This is perfectly fine in my opinion, right? This is, you know, You know, it's perfectly acceptable in my opinion. So that's obviously the beer can is just obviously comically small because Andre is a big dude. So, but yeah, also like, but yeah, there's the whole thing of yeah, well, less articulation usually means less time assembling, less parts, which should be cheaper, but I don't know how that stuff works. Single knees, they work. They are pinned, so that's something. That's basically that. Next one is next couple of figures I guess right is more on the on probably where I do think that they sort of lost a lot of faith, I think, in wrestling as a sort of viable brand to do figures of. They've been their New Japan's figures, right? And I don't remember any of these guys' names, so I'm sorry. I'm not the biggest New Japan New Japan fan, but I am a sucker for a cool action figure of in wrestling. So that's kind of what that's about. Yeah, let's just get right into it. This is pretty much entire wave 1 too, though. I never got wave 2, as it wasn't. I don't know. Essentially, waiting a pretty bad photos, and so I just wasn't hyped about it. But like, I'm sure you know these guys if you even if you like wrestling at all. So here's one, right? That's the likeness. It's not. I mean, I do see the guy in there. I have seen pictures of him and everything. Like, get the belts there. The belts weren't. I mean, they're very similar to a Mattel. Sort of like the way they do, the way they work and stuff. So, and yeah, articulation is gonna be pretty much the same. Obviously, the gear is gonna be kind of fun and like very colorful, very sort of detailed and everything like that. But right, like it's fine. It's not bad. It's not bad by any means. At least in my opinion. Got your hinged wrists there. They're building it in the wrist versus like what Mattel does, which kind of like a lot higher up. Thankfully, obviously these days they have removed the pins since then, so that's a bit, But yeah, you get the knee, get the hips, that sort of works the way you would expect it to. So that's kind of hey, that's fine. That's pretty fine in my opinion. Right? As well as this dude, this is probably where they I think of all the people that they kind of quote unquote messed up, this is probably one of that's gonna be sort of the poster boy for it. Right, because their photos are so bad, blown up, and then they tried to do the proper shading, and it sort of kind of works and kind of doesn't. And even on camera here, it's not gonna look just like it does in person, but maybe you get a better feel for it. Like, do you see? I think it's called Will Ospreay. This dude. This. I mean, yeah, but soft goods, right? This could have been sort of plastic, but or whatever. But I actually really like it. Velcros, you can take it off. Of course, you can. Came with like a sword and like this other a trophy here and whatnot. Okay, the hands, as you can see, they are taped. That's a fuck up, right? But they did offer replacements. But as I didn't get it from super7 directly, it's a bit more of a mess to do it, which I am in the process of actually doing though. So whatever. Yeah, it's nothing gonna be say outcrunched in there somewhere. That's pretty cool. But yeah, the hoods of course can just be removed as you wish. But yeah, whatever. Right? It's not in the inside there is not great. It should be a bit sort of less material maybe, but or maybe some bendy wire. That would be great. But I don't know. I don't think super7 does bendy wire on anything. But that should be something that should be looked at for sure. In my opinion. For the future. But I know this line came out and because Because if you're a wrestling figure collector, you probably do collect Mattels or Jazzwares, maybe some boss fights now. I think you probably expect one thing, because of you expect like for this price point, you should get double knees, double elbows, like the crazy thigh cut there and like whatever. But I don't know. I didn't think this was bad. But yeah, 55, 50. What this is not? You can get this for like, at least like 45 now, 49 maybe on different places. Because this didn't exactly fly off the shelves. Especially the Wave 2 as well. It's like, but that's probably why there probably isn't anywhere on a Wave 3 or anything like that. They seem like they kind of just like backed off of that whole thing. Unfortunately. Next one. Alright. This is obviously like the fabric is actually fascinating. So this it's like a faux leathery look. You can see the stitch lines down the thighs there. And yeah, like this yeah. It's a swanky looking guitar and whatever. I don't know if it's supposed to be this tan in real life though. Like maybe that's accurate, maybe it's not. I don't know. But yeah, like a nice looking belt, at least one guitar. Like I have most of the parts in a bin somewhere. Like they're kind of just a pain in the ass to pull out, but like they are there. Like you get an extra head and a bunch of extra the hands and what have you. But this is actually really cool. Like I do think Super7 kind of went out of the way to make like really good soft goods accessories because you don't really see that anymore. Like plastic accessories are kind of more their thing. They were just different moving parts when it comes to like soft goods. Like so, it's just interesting enough, I'd say. But yeah, like the likeness is sort of there. Yeah. They move like decently enough. But yeah, obviously compared to a metal or they are less movable, certainly. But they're fine movable. Then it's like they are more expensive. So it's like obviously like to you, but as the consumer, you don't give a shit if the figure is like not available in fucking Toys R Us or whatever, right? You don't care. That's not your problem. So I don't know. Well, last but not least, this dude. Not the money man, whatever it's called. Rainmaker. This obviously crazy. I'm such a sucker for good soft goods, like you don't even know. This is obviously all of these details, right? Crazy. Like if this was Mattel, it would have to be either plastic or the figure would have to be an ultimate for it to even make sense. Like, so there's tons of stuff and like necklace shit and the belt and the figure, which is yeah. That must be a box for sure. Look, I think yeah, but no. This is not by any means bad. I don't think this is bad. I don't think this is bad. Like fundamentally, I don't think this is bad. I feel like it has the hip that I prefer, or the thigh that I prefer. Like I would like double knees, elbows, definitely. But yeah, like I mean, this is just Super7 at this point, and I think with this wrestling figures, suddenly they were dealing with a very different customer. Like because like if you compare like their turtles, people are gonna compare them to what the Playmates figure, and they're like fucking 5p away anyway, whatever. Like they're not gonna have that same stigma to it. But like wrestling figures, people gonna they're not gonna compare them to Hasbro's or LJNs. They are gonna compare them to Mattel Elites, WWE, AW Unrivaled and Unmatched and such. The boss fight figures like the premium line. That's what they're gonna compare them to. not like old Jax figures or let's say LJN or Hasbro's, right? Remco's even like they're not kind of compared to those. And yeah, so I don't think they really became that popular. Unfortunately, that's unfortunate. But I don't know. Like I got a few. I like a few. You know, like I'm not gonna send hate mail to Brian Flynn or anything like that. That's not honest. That's not appropriate for one thing, but that's not necessary for one for me for me. Jesus Christ, stop doing Stanley up in here. But yeah, like I mean, you get some soft goods. Oh, this is something that I've kind of forgot to mention. It's kind of a minor thing, but it's kind of whatever something that you probably will notice if you collect wrestling figures, right? It maybe over the side that there's no actually Velcro in the back to get it off and on. So um, easily you have to get it off the way you take off a shirt, whatever way you do that with. But yeah, like I mean, soft goods, shirt, like they're pretty similar to a Mattel. Got that sort of stretch to it. That's kind of nice, and you can take off the heads, and but yeah, like pretty like reasonably easy to take on and off. That there's no problem, But yeah, like they're a bit stiff, but like the joints are really big as well. Maybe that can work in their favor of having for stuff like your breakage. Like small joints. If you get like doubles and whatever, they're like, but it can be a bit scary, But I don't know. That's that, I guess. What do you think? Do you think Super 7 did a disservice to this particular type of genre, or do you have a few of them? Do you have like Wave 2 of Brian Myers and Macadon on pre-order even for that price point? Or are you just done? Like, yeah, I'm going back to Mattel and Jaspers. Sorry, I'm out. Yeah, that's kind of it. That has been this video. If you agree, cool. If you don't, tell me to go fuck off in the comment section. I don't know, I don't know. But yeah, that's that. That's that. This has been another rambling video by me, Paltrax, the Nerd. Unscripted and uncut nonsense spewing out of my mouth. So, see you later, guys. Later.